Hello and welcome to another quick to-the-point After Effects tutorial, where I share tips from over 10 years working in corporate, broadcast and film. In this one we're going to add realistic grain to a composite using a grain mat, a simple trick I use all the time to help my composites look more natural. Okay, so we've got our shot here. I've already comped in this basic shape using Element 3D, and what we're going to do now is we're going to create a grain mat. So if we go down into our plate here, it's just a basic drone shot I got off of Envato, and we go to Effect, Neat Video. So I use Neat Video to remove grain. It's a really good grain removal tool. I'm not being paid to say this. Any of the other grain removal tools will do the same trick, but I'm going to be using Neat Video in this example. Okay, so in Neat Video what we're going to do is we're going to give it a sample to work with. Ideally something that is uniform, like so. Build a profile. That's given us a pretty good sample. So now we've got a shot with the grain removed. What we're going to do is go back to our project and let's just rename that shot for tidiness. We are now going to duplicate that, so Control D, and we're going to call this one grain mat. So going back to our comp. Okay, so going back to our comp, what we've done now is we've removed the grain from the original shot, and what we're going to do now is build a grain mat. So going back into the comp we called grain mat, and now that is basically exactly the same as what we had before, so we've now got a shot without any grain on it. Now we're going to go down to the shot, Control D to duplicate that, so now we've got two copies of that. Go into the effects and we're going to delete Neat Video, or whatever it is you use to remove grain. And now if we go down to a blending mode, and we are going to set this to subtract. So what subtract does is that subtracts one shot from the other, and the only difference between those shots is the grain, because they're both exactly the same, but one's had the grain removed. So the only thing that is different is the grain itself. So if we go down to the exposure in the viewing window, crank that up, and we should start to see the grain. Okay, let's put that back to normal. And what we're going to do is go back to our original comp, and we're just going to drag the grain mat in. And that should just come in as a black comp, and we're just going to set the blending mode to that to add. Okay, so just a quick recap. We've gone back to our base plate. We've removed the grain from that. We've then made the duplicate of that in a different comp, and we've subtracted an unaltered shot from a degrained shot, and that gives us what's left, which is just the grain. We've then added that back on top of the comp we're working on, and we've set the blending mode to add. So everything under that doesn't have any grain in it, but now we've added that on top. Now that's taking the grain from the original shot and adding that over everything. So all the stuff in the base plate is going to have its original grain back, but now the added elements we've put in, so for instance this cube, has now got the grain from the shot on top of it. So it helps it look a bit more natural. Now if we crank the exposure up and down, you should start to see some of that grain appear on top of that cube. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you found this useful. These tutorials are designed to be quick so that when you're up against the deadline, you can drop in, get the answer and get on.